All, all right, greetings everyone. This is Dr. Spivey, and I put together this short video just to show you some of the main features of Moodle that I will be using this semester. Um, so let's take a look. This is what your Moodle site should look like for statistics. There may be one or two additional things added. I'll be adding things to this as we go along. But yours should look roughly like this. One of the most important things I think to know about the way that I utilize Moodle is that I put all assignments in Moodle. And you can always tell when you've got an assignment coming up, when it's due, by looking in this block right here. It's the upcoming events block, right? So already you see that there's a reading due on Wednesday the 6th of February, and there is another assignment due also on Wednesday the 6th of February. So I usually don't announce assignments in class. I'm just going to post those to Moodle, and I'll post the correct due date. So you need to get in the habit of checking Moodle pretty regularly to see what the homework is coming up on, right? So again, don't expect me to announce that in class. You got to check Moodle yourself. I will also note that I've already gone ahead and put in the test dates, test 1, test 2, test 3, and the final exam. So they're already in here. And about 2 weeks before those test dates come up, you'll get a little reminder up here in the upcoming events, right? So this upcoming event is very, very important, and you need to check it regularly. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other features of Moodle. I take attendance in Moodle, so you should always be able to click on the attendance and see what I have for you. Sometimes I make mistakes. So for instance, if a student is late, I might mark absent, and then if the student comes in later, I might forget to switch that back to a late. Please go ahead and check that periodically and make sure I'm not making any mistakes. One of the things I love about Moodle is that it allows me to be transparent about my grading and transparent about the attendance and all that sort of thing, so that if I make a mistake, you can communicate to me and we can work that out, right? So it's just a way really for you to check to make sure I've got everything that I need to for you. So do double check what your attendance is. Here's a link to Wofford's honor code. So it is important for you to know what's in the code. The honor code applies to this class as it does to all classes. So I invite you to take a look at that to remind yourself of what's in the code. Here's a link to some information about peer tutoring. So if you ever get worried about how you're doing in the class, if you're having trouble or you want some extra help, peer tutoring is a great way to get a free tutor. So the system basically has people who have done well in this class previously who can meet with you weekly to help you with your homework and to study and that sort of thing. So it's a great resource. I encourage you to take advantage of that if you think it would be helpful. In order to get more information about it, click there. This is our syllabus for the course. The course info 140 is the syllabus for the course. I will be going over that in a second video. So we'll see that in just a moment. So the other thing that you'll see here on the main site is WebAssign, this link right here. So we are going to use an online homework system for much of the homework for this course. WebAssign is, I think, a really nice system because it allows you to submit an answer and get feedback right then about whether it is correct or not correct, right? So if there is some sort of issue with the answers that you're turning in, you still have time to seek help before it's due, right? Or seek help before we cover the next topic. So I think it's a great system. It also has the advantages of being able to, of giving you the opportunity to have multiple tries of getting a correct answer. So for numerical questions, you get 100 tries to get the correct answer, and without any grade penalty if you get it wrong. For multiple choice questions, there is a grade penalty for getting a question wrong the first time, and that's just really to discourage guessing, blind guessing. But again, it's a great system because it gives you instant feedback and it allows you multiple tries to get something right. I don't care if you don't get it right the first time. I just care that eventually we get it right? So I think it's a great system. So you do need to have a WebAssign account. So what you should do is, before the next class period, click on that link. And that link is, and once you do so, it's going to take you through the steps you need in order to establish a link between Moodle and WebAssign. So they're two slightly different systems. So I want you to know a few things about that. So first of all, WebAssign is not free. There is a charge for that. There are a couple of different ways that you can pay for WebAssign. The first way is if you went to the bookstore and you bought a book there, you may have bought a WebAssign access card. That WebAssign access card will have a code that you can type in that will give you access, right? So that's one way to pay for it. That WebAssign access card or the access to WebAssign also comes with a digital textbook. So you're welcome to read your textbook in this link, in this WebAssign link. Okay, so that's the first way. The second way is if you didn't go to the bookstore, you can click on the link and fill in your credit card information, and it can automatically deduct it from your credit card, right? So you've got those two different options for how to pay for WebAssign. WebAssign is free for the first week or so. There's a grace period. So if you are not sure whether you will be continuing in the class, I would just wait until the grace period ends before you pay for it. Does that make sense? So you'll have access to the WebAssign system for a little while. So take advantage of that before you have to pay for it. Okay, so one other thing that I should mention is, two other things I should mention. First of all is when accessing the WebAssign system, you should always come to Moodle and then click on this link. I have had students who get into the habit of trying to type in the WebAssign web address up here and accessing it that way. That is going to run you into trouble, right? Don't do that. Instead, you should always log into Moodle and log into WebAssign by clicking the link. Does that make sense? So please do that. If you have trouble with your WebAssign, one of the first questions I'm going to ask is, are you accessing it through Moodle, or are you typing it into the typing the URL in directly? So again, access it through Moodle. The second thing to note is that if you've already had WebAssign, if you already have a WebAssign account, there will be an option for you to log in using that WebAssign account. On the other hand, if you've never used WebAssign before, there will be an option for you to create your own new login, if that makes sense. So, I can't click on this and show you what yours is going to look like because I already have a WebAssign account, and when I click on it, it goes right to where it's supposed to go. So yours is going to look a little bit different from mine. But anyway, you need to go ahead and establish that link, get your account stuff set up by the next class period. In fact, your first assignment is due on Wednesday, so you'll need to go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so what else do I want to tell you about Moodle? So the way that I lay Moodle out is to have each topic be its own day. So here is topic 1. Topic 1 is our first class period, February 4th, and I've got the assignments for that listed there, right? This one is going to be Wednesday, February 6th, and I'm going to put the assignments there as well, right? So each class period sort of gets its own topic here. There's a place for each class period on the Moodle site. Also, it's not here yet, but most class periods we will have a handout or multiple handouts. Those handouts I will post in a folder here to Moodle. So if you miss a class period and you want to get the notes, you should always have access to them here on Moodle. Sometimes I get behind by a day or two in posting those, so if you log on to Moodle and you click on the lecture notes folder and you don't see what you want, you don't see the one that you're missing, just email me and remind me to go ahead and post that. Okay, and the last thing that I want to do is to show you grades. So over here, there's a little grades button. So if I click on that, this sort of shows you what your gradebook will look like. Excuse me. As we go forward, there will be more and more stuff appear here, and I'll post the grades to those as we get to them. But what I wanted to tell you was that you should always know what your grade is in the class at any time, because Moodle will automatically calculate it for you. Okay, so Moodle is set up so that it calculates your grade correctly. So I think it's a really useful feature. The other thing I like about Moodle is, again, for the transparency, right? So you can sometimes, again, I make mistakes in entering grades. So this way you get a chance to check up on me, make sure that what I have is the correct grade. And if there's a discrepancy, I hope that you will just excuse me. I hope you'll just let me know and we can work it out. So go ahead and keep track of your grades using this gradebook, and let me know if there's any discrepancy, and we can work to figure that out. Okay, so that's the gradebook. I think that's all I wanted to say about Moodle. So yeah, so again, don't forget, homework is posted here. You can see what's due over here in this block. And in the second video, I'll be going over the course info sheet, the course policies, so you'll have a better understanding of that sort of thing. So I will see you in that next video.